How's it going, gamers? It's BB, you're watching my RSL channel. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
It's always nice to have you. Today we're testing out some arena teams, and I figured that it's good if I have, you know, a choice.
You deserve a choice.
An array of champions that I can pick from based off the champions that I'm fighting, because so far I've had one team for everything, and I figured that if I have someone with both block active and block, well, debuffs, I might have myself a really winning combination here. I'm talking about a Corrado and Ugo, and if you guys don't know about Corrado, let me immediately lighten you up before we've gotten to talk about anything today. Corrado Fox Hunter is a crazy legendary champion. You can get yourself entirely for free. Listen to me carefully. If you click my promo link, which you can find in the description box below, and you make a brand new account with Player and Play, start off 2025 fresh. Also, there's the Hell Hades challenge coming up. I mean, I know it's for content creators, but who is to say that you guys can't participate coming here? Anyway, I digress. Corrado is a part of my promo link offer. You can get yourself your very own Corrado Fox Hunter for free today, you guys. Just click on my promo link, make a brand new account with Player and Play, start off 2025 with a brand new account, fresh, clean slate. You know what I mean? Blank canvas. And then, once you complete the tutorial with your brand new account, which by the way, set up a brand new email for and do it on your PC. Otherwise, you risk not getting that reward. On phone, it does not work. Corrado will be waiting for you in your inbox once you complete the tutorial with your new account. And on top of that, you're gonna get 3 more free epic champions for leveling up and progressing in your game. At level 40, you get Fane. At level 45, you get Romero. And at level 50, you get Vergus. Jump on that offer while you still can, you guys. And now let's dive into today's topic, which is arena, but more specifically, arena champions. Just some really good, very budget options for arena champions that will take you through at least silver 4, nearing gold 1. It's time for you to start making that jump.
Geronimo!
When you gather your first couple of 60 level champions and you start slowly ascending them and getting all of their pink stars, purple stars, god damn. See, for example, right now I'm beating a pretty good team, and if they know how to build their team, they could easily smack us out of existence. Let's see if this guy knows what he's doing. Yup, our poor Helicath cannot survive this alone, right? He can't make it. I think I forgot to change my team for this one. We're gonna get beaten out of existence, and I'm happy to see that because this dude, or dudette, has pretty solid champions on their roster. But those, oh my, we should not have done that.
Your team's dead.
I'm trying to get to gold, but hey, look at the champions that I've been getting. Do you see anywhere someone that I can beat? Potentially these guys. He's got a Volcanoes on his team too, so that's something. We could potentially beat these guys. Okay, let's try. They have a Madam Saris on their team.
Don't worry, Peter, we got this.
But today we're gonna be talking budget options, some free farmable champions that are gonna set you immediately off to your first couple of consecutive victories in arena. This was a success. We brought back some of our points. So let's get right into it, you guys. We're gonna start with the most budget of options. And I'm gonna head to the Barbarians. And here in the Barbarians faction, we've got 2 champions do a wonderful job. First, we're gonna talk about War Maiden. Now, War Maiden is good in arena because she brings an increased attack buff on herself and places an extra hit if this attack is critical. She also, which is the important one, brings a 100% chance of placing a strong decreased defense debuff on an AoE on a 3-turn cooldown. That decreased defense will be very important for you, for your nukers to land their damage properly. So it's kind of like a setup, right? Your War Maiden is going to be your debuffer, and she is farmable in the Deadlands, which is campaign stage number 9, I think. Yep.
Correct.
The Deadlands, here you can get yourself your very own War Maiden. Actually, I lied to you.
So before you lie about lying about
There's 3 champions from the Barbarians faction that I need to shout out, talk about today. I'm gonna come back to Berserker in a minute, but I just want to talk really quickly about High Katoon. High Katoon is a 30-day login reward, so she's gonna be hella accessible for you. You're immediately gonna get your hands on her. Let's go, let's go, let's go! And why we need a High Katoon on our team? For multiple reasons, but 3 very important reasons. She brings a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Though it is on a chance, it's a really, really nice debuff. Here, we have the second important one, very important one.
Listen closely.
Fills the turn meters of all allies by 15% and places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. 30% increased speed buff on everyone for 2 turns on the 3-turn cooldown. Cooldown is spectacular. You want Haikatun to be your fastest champion, and you want to place her as your aura champion. You want to place her as your leader because she increases ally speed in all battles by 19%, and that is some solid speed up that your team is going to benefit from. The idea is that you want to be the first one to attack. You want to be the first one to place a series of debuffs, buffs, and you want Haikatun to be your fastest so she can first place an increased speed on everyone. Another champion that I just really quickly want to shout out.
Take your time.
He's Berserker, and why I'm shouting him out is because of this skill. Fills this champion's turn meter by 30% if this attack is critical. He spams that, right? And here we've got an AoE, a double hitter AoE, right? We've got another attacks when enemy grants an extra turn if the target is killed, which brings us back here. Berserker is great to be considered as an option because he is a free farmable as well, and he also spawns from the Deadlands, stage 9 of campaign, right here, alongside War Maiden. So 2 birds, 1 stone.
But where is the stone?
You know what I mean? You're probably gonna get a Berserker before the champion that I actually want to talk about that fulfills his role, but we're gonna get back to that in a second. Now we have our debuffer of War Maiden, right? And we have Haikatun as a buffer, and now we need our starter champion. And I'm sorry if you didn't pick Kale.
Here we go again.
But Kale is a really good arena champion, and that's why he is subsequently the best starter champion. He's just good everywhere, you guys. He's good absolutely everywhere you need him to be good at. So Kale is just a solid option for your arena team as well. But if you didn't go with Kale,
Big mistake.
you can also go with Elaine, you can also go with Aethel, but for the love of God, why would you go for someone like Gaelic? Why? Homeboy has a decreased defense, right? A chance if the target has more than 2 debuffs, but he's immediately outclassed by your War Maiden, so Gaelic is not gonna work. You need an actual proper nuker.
Tell me more.
And then another champion from the Dark Elves is Spirit Host. Why you need a Spirit Host on your team? She cleanses debuffs, and she places a block debuffs buff on all allies for 1 turn on a 5-turn cooldown, but a strong increased attack for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, this is the buff that we need ultimately. Increased attack will help your nukers actually nuke, and that block debuffs and debuff cleanse is just really helpful when you're kind of stuck in a ditch somewhere.
I need a miracle. I need a miracle.
And her aura is also an increase of speed in all battles by 10%, so until you get Haikatun, you can use her as an aura champion. You can farm for Spirit Host in Durham Forest, which is stage number 4 of campaign. Now we have our buffer, debuffer, cleanser, we have our starter champion slash nuker, and we talked a little bit about Berserker and his role, right? Now, I noticed something about one fusible champion here. We're gonna talk really quickly about Relic Keeper. You might as well find him a spot somewhere in your arsenal since you'll have him, right? There's no going around getting Relic Keeper because you need him for Arbiter. So, I figured that instead of Berserker, you can just use a Relic Keeper when you fuse him because he's better. Now, hear me out. He has the same thing here. Grants an extra turn if the target is killed, which is killed on an A1 means that as long as he has an increased attack on him and the enemies have a decreased defense, strong ones for that matter,
It's unbreachable.
and they're gonna come from the champions that I just talked about. If you have a War Maiden, a Spirit Host, Kale, and Relic Keeper on your arena team, listen to what's gonna happen. War Maiden, Spirit Host, and Haikatun are going to be setting up your attacks, and then Kale is going to nuke, and Relic Keeper is going to grant some extra turns for each enemy he smacks out of existence.
Snap, snap.
On his passive, he places a continuous heal on himself for 2 turns whenever hit by an enemy, and that's on his passive. On a 3-turn cooldown, so he can be quite tanky. And he places a strong increased attack on himself as well when ascended, just in case one of these buffs run out or get stolen. He'll take care of it himself, and then he will go and smack.
Pretty good.
And that's, I think, one use that I found of Relic Keeper, but in a vast array, ocean of good champions. You're gonna make me fuse Relic Keeper. You know what I mean? Ask to fuse Razin and Lady Mikage because they're dope, especially Lady Mikage. Like, or what do you mean she's a fusible champion? It kind of feels almost illegal, you know? She's great. But Relic Keeper, that's his purpose though, arena. He's a good arena champion, guys. Now I already mentioned Corrado Fox Hunter, right? Just needed to get it out of the way. But I'm gonna mention it again. He's budget because he's free. But he comes with the block active skills. Yeah, and that's quite helpful. And he places the stun as well. And he places a weaken as well. Well, the weaken
Drake or the weekend?
is good into things like clan boss, but the stun and the block active skills are quite helpful crowd control. And again, Corrado is budget because he's technically free with my promo link. You know what I mean? Free, you guys.
Good deal, Mo.
Now we're gonna dive into the more intricate champions. Here, I just gave you an outline of a very basic team that you can use to smack away your enemies in Arena. But, of course, you can experiment, you can have fun with Arena. Just like any part of the game, you guys. You don't have to go the calculated way. You can explore some cool champions with some cool skills.
Explore with your eye.
Right? And learn about them and learn about who you're battling. Loki, I feel like I'm preparing for live Arena. Rector Drath is great for Arena. She comes with a strong decrease attack, right? That debuff that you need, even though it's on a chance. She also comes with a good heal. 20% of her max HP is wonderful because you can stack her HP. And after healing, places a perfect veil buff for 2 turns on all allies with full HP. Crazy utility, crazy veil.
She is crazy.
And places a 15% continuous heal buff for 1 turn instead on the allies with less than 100% HP. Just solid support, man. And on top of that, she revives a single ally with 60% and fills their turn meter by 60%, places a perfect veil buff on them for 3 turns. She's also a great reviver, great healer, amazing support for your team. And trust me, you want a good support on your team.
We gotta support each other.
I know that smack is great and all, damage, nuking, but without a good supporter on your team, you don't have sustainability, you don't have survivability. All it takes is 1 turn and suddenly all your defenses are down and you go down. Rector Drath won't let that happen. Also, this cool passive, you guys. Whenever an ally under a veil or perfect veil buff gets a turn, heals them by 10% of their max HP. Also increases the resistance of all allies under veil or perfect veil buffs by 50. By 50. It's a good champion. I love Rector Drath. I hope I pull her someday. Next up on our list, we have Duck the Pierced. I call him Duck, though maybe the right way to pronounce it is Doug the Pierced. And I mean heavily pierced. I mean, he's almost entirely made out of stainless steel. Well, not so stainless. Definitely steel, though. Can we talk about the shield? Like, that has 0 utility. 0 actual utility skill.
Seems kind of pointless.
But it looks hella cool, right? We can at least admit that. Duck the Pierced is also a great arena champion. He's a good provoker, you guys. He places a provoke debuff for 1 turn on the target enemy. Also has a 75% chance of placing a provoke for 1 turn on 2 random enemies. So basically 3, right? Places a 30% reflect damage buff on this champion for 2 turns and an unkillable buff on this champion for 1 turn. On a 4 turn cooldown, you guys. Shrieking Display is a shrieking menace. He also has an AoE here, which comes with a 100% land rate of a strong decrease attack and a strong decrease defense in the same skill. And that is if you land a critical hit, which is why you want to stack his crit up high. And he has an interesting A1 here. He double hits and each hit has a 40% chance of placing a strong decrease accuracy debuff for 2 turns, which is hard to come by. So I'd say Duck the Pierce is a solid pull for Arena, and any one of your enemies would fall to their knees praying at the sight of this guy. Quite creepy. Also, the fact that he pierced his ears, it looks like the most innocent part about him. You know what I mean? Great champion. Now, we're gonna go back to someone that I would say is just kind of like a Christmas present to me, because Vogoth spawned in my inbox after I forgot to pull 40 prism shards that were subsequently a part of a very mysterious Christmas gift.
It's a mysterious mystery.
Vogoth is great in Arena as well, and I'm really happy that Raid accidentally pulled him for me. Well, that the Raid pulled him for me. But he has a triple hitter, and each hit has a 40% chance of increasing the duration of 1 random debuff on the target by 1 turn. That is on an A1. He will spam that. He will continuously have the chance to increase the duration of 1 random debuff. But that is not where his most utilizable skill lies. He is also a great provoker. He attacks all enemies. That's an AoE. 3 turn cooldown. Has a 75% chance of placing a provoke on all enemies for 1 turn, and a 75% chance of placing a strong decrease attack for 2 turns on targets who receive the provoke debuff from this skill. That's the strong decrease attack that we need. Provoke is also great, especially because this champion is just giga tanky. Whenever this champion is attacked, heals all allies by 50% of the damage received. And this guy you can even take up to bosses, because he will still heal 25% of the damage received from boss attacks, and he receives half of the heal that all other allies receive. However, However, you can still utilize this if you stack his HP up high enough. On another passive, Eerie Presence. When attacked, he places a leech on the attacker for 2 turns, and that is irresistible. If the attacker is under a provoke debuff placed by this champion, also has a 100% of increasing the cooldown of a random skill on the attacker by 2 turns if you book out that passive. And it's not frequently that I see passives having to be booked out. It's interesting, but it probably happens more frequently than I think. Yet again, Volgoth is an amazing champion in Arena and in multiple other stages of the game. You can take him up to Clan Boss even with that Festering Dynamo passive, because I can see it being rigged a little bit, maybe. And also, can we talk about the mask? Very, very cool mask. And also, what is he made of? Is he made of steel? Some sort of steel? Is he a steel block? And I want to know what the history is behind these orbs. Now, if you start your game with the beginner promo link, like the one that I just pitched about Corrado Fox Hunter, you guys, you can get yourself a free Loki right now. Loki! With the beginner promo code, was it Get Loki? Get Loki? Loki is a free champion right now with the beginner promo code, but, well, the conditions for you to apply for one of these is that you have to have made your account within 24 hours and 48 hours of signing up to Raid Shadow Legends. So, if you started your game with the promo link that I just pitched, and you got Corrado, and you got yourself a Kale, and you get yourself a Loki, who, by the way, has an AoE on an A1, and has a 30% chance of increasing the duration of all enemy debuffs by 1 turn, 50% if he's under a Veil or Perfect Veil, which he does bring. You can select a target for the Deceiver's Gambit, and you can block active skills and buffs on your enemies on a 100% chance once fully booked out. He also steals if he's under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff and applies a debuff spread. Horrible. He places 2 random debuffs from the target and places them on all enemies. It's just, he's so annoying to beat in Arena. You have no idea. If the target is an ally, he will heal them by 50% of this champion's max HP and will place a Perfect Veil buff on them for 2 turns. If he's under a Veil or Perfect Veil, he will also apply a buff spread, taking a random buff from the target and placing it on all allies, which is something that you should be looking out for because he can steal your unkillables, your block damages, your reflect damages, and that's when things get scary.
That sounds awful.
That's when you need a champion who can clear buffs and clear debuffs and these finicky, gimmicky debuffs and buffs in the game. But also, this is where the Veil comes from. He has the audacity. He has a 100% chance of stealing all buffs from a target enemy and 100% of their turn meter. I'm telling you, Loki is full on audacity and the indomitable human spirit. And if you just started a brand new account, please get yourselves one of these guys. He's the most annoying Arena champion to beat. I swear to God.
Case closed.
If you have yourself one of these, you're unbeatable. If with the right kind of champions on your team, you can pretty much be unstoppable. I don't even know if it's fair for any other champion. Again, I called you guys champions, and maybe I should just start calling you champions. How you doing, champions? You're watching my RSL channel, and it's BB. It's almost unfair for the rest of the players that do not have Loki the Deceiver. Let me just show you in action. But this is the right blessing that you want for Loki. Is it? I don't know. There's multiple options that I'm seeing here. People going for different kinds of blessings. This one petrifies me, and we're not gonna battle him because we're gonna be taken down. However, I might conquer this volcanoes. I might.
At least try.
So here, I have myself my main nuker He-Man, who I'm gatekeeping because, well, he costs. Definitely not budget friendly. But I got myself Ugo for free because that's the promo code that I started with. The promo link that I started with at the time. Ugo was a starter champion on my account. I got a Corrado because now this is my promo link offer, you guys.
Wait, for real?
And I got myself a Helicath because I'm damn lucky. And y'all can be mad, but we all know the truth. This Helicath is gonna be milked forever. And this Volcanoes is very, very tanky. And I wonder how this guy built them out because I want to do the exact same to mine.
I call it the copy and pastinator.
We've got a bunch of burn. That's okay though, because we don't have a lot of HP. Burn is fine for us. Poison is also fine for us. There we go. We beat him, guys. And you can try out different team configurations here as well. You can just select a few options and tweak their AI a little bit from here. See, I've selected Corrado to open with the block active skills, for Helicath to open with block damage, and now whoever is beating me in Arena will know how I have ordered my champions, and you will know my strategy, and you will know how to beat me.
I already knew that.
Because those are the exact same guys that now I use in defense as well. And they won't take me down from silver 4 to silver 2 in a single night anymore. So that's that. I hope you guys found this helpful, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!